Each week we check out a new gun museum. We call it the Firearm Museum Tour. A big part of our Gun Show Loophole Tour is checking out the firearms museums around the country, and we know that they're all interested in getting more visitors and more awareness. So we're going to help by featuring a new museum each week. Let's start
Next up on our tour of the firearms museums is going to be the Cowboy Museum in Oklahoma City. So I think this one I discovered as I was... Did I get recommended? I know I got recommended the 45th Infantry Museum, which we'll talk about because it's just around the corner. So this one is definitely a must-see if you like cowboy guns. There are other cowboy gun museums for sure, and there's definitely other cowboy guns to check out in Oklahoma. However, this is a pretty nice museum, and if you're into cowboy art or Western art, or just cowboy stuff in general, definitely cowboy movies and TV, that kind of thing, and then real life cowboy museum type stuff, you're going to find all that here. So this is a fairly large museum at 200,000 square feet. I put in here that the guns are about 1,000 square feet. Let's take a look at that. So this is the brochure. Now I first went here in, I don't remember anymore, 2018 probably, and I visited the 45th Infantry Museum, which is nearby in Oklahoma City, and then came over to the Cowboy Museum, not realizing what time they closed, I think, if I remember right. Anyway, I got there really close to closing time, maybe 15 minutes before they were closed. And this is the museum. It's big. When you drive up to it and you park, you come in past the gift shop there, then you buy a ticket to check out the museum. And I let them know I was really just interested in the firearms and that my goal was to get some photographs to do a review of the museum. So they said, okay, in that case, here's where they are. They showed me the rooms where the firearms were. And since I only had 15 minutes, they knew I wasn't really going to be able to experience much. So they just let me in for free, which was pretty cool because I forget what it cost, but it was a couple of bucks to get in, $12 to get in normally. It's probably worth it. For sure, especially if you spend some time there. So I ran past a bunch of different art. This is a whole big hall of fame going down this hallway. And then you get into a couple of different rooms. Let's see, this 16 is called the Museum of the Frontier West. 15 is the American Cowboy Gallery. And then 12 is the Gallery of Fine American Firearms. So I actually checked out a couple of these different rooms. While there's not firearms in every room, from what I remember, that's definitely where they're at. And this one little one, you have to come in and around and back around to find it. So you're definitely going to check out more of the museum. So I'm pretty sure I went in, checked out this room, moved around, walked around this one, and then came out, went in here, came out. Now there's a lot of art in there and a lot of museum exhibits. Artifacts. So definitely worth checking out and spending, I would say you'd want to spend at least a half a day there, depending on how much you like cowboy stuff. The rest of the museum is going to take you a while. There's more of the rest of the museum. There's a lot of art, and a lot of these rooms are auditoriums and stuff for other things, but there's also some outdoor stuff, some activities to do outdoors, some exhibits and some things to check out outdoors. So I'd say easily a half a day, if not a multiple day trip. Now there's other things to see in Oklahoma City, so I could easily recommend a weekend in Oklahoma City and have the Cowboy Museum be one of the things that you check out as a main feature that weekend. If a gun person wanted to check it out specifically just for the guns, I'm saying give yourself 2 hours. Easy. And that gives you another couple hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours for the 45th Infantry Museum. And both of them are going to be good. So let's get back to the entry and our Firearms Museum passport. It's 200,000 square feet for that whole museum. The guns are about 1,000 square feet, and I'm probably estimating that poorly. There's this Weisenhofer gallery of fine firearms, which is pretty neat. And then there's firearms that were like tools that were in use. There's not really just a ton of firearms in there. I'm not sure how I'm editing these. I think I'll just link to one of the videos where we walked through the museum in the description of this video. The museum is large and it covers much more than firearms. But the other exhibits are super interesting. Lots of art and lots of natural stuff and lots of artifacts. The collection is in two sections, as you kind of see there, and then this third area dedicated to fancy ones. You can see firearms in some of the other dioramas as well. They're just not necessarily featured and stuff. And you can take photographs at the museum, but they do ask that you don't photograph the art. So it shouldn't be a problem with the firearms. They told me it was no problem, but you might want to double check because all museums have policies and they can change. It's a comfortable museum. It's super easy to navigate. It's a very comfortable museum. I would say it gets all green marks for accessibility and for any age. Little kids could have a good time there. Old people have a good time there. Everybody in between. It is nearby the 45th Infantry Division Museum, which is literally miles away, and you'd want to check out both of them if you're in the area. There's also museums up in Tulsa, which isn't too far away as well. And actually, if you were to check out all the different firearms museums on a map, this Cowboy Museum is pretty much dead center of the country. You can see there's 4 or 5 museums right in the general vicinity, and then even more once you draw a little bit bigger circle, and then it's just centrally located to all the others. So one of the cooler museums, and I follow them on the Instagram. They do a lot of posts, almost never about their firearms. So that's what we got. The Cowboy Museum in Oklahoma City. We'll take a look at other museums going forward in our tour each week of U.S. firearms museums. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you've been to the Cowboy Museum, if you're planning on going, if you have any questions, other folks who have been there already might be able to give you a heads up and help you prepare or plan for a trip. Looking forward to those. Until next time, thanks for watching.
So let us know what you think. We'll be watching the comments wherever you find the video, over on gunstreamer.com or on guntube.org. Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals at gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com.